On this episode of Star Trek Universe, we are discussing the third episode of Star Trek Starfleet Academy, Vitus Reflux. You'll find out if we think it's good, great, or just plain sucks, right after these words from weird copycat fungus plants that remind me of Audrey from Little Shop of Horrors.
Her name was Audrey, too.
Well, Audrey Jr. was in the original 1960 version, and I know Audrey 2 was in the musical with Steve Martin. I didn't know if I really wanted to go with either one of them, so I just went with this original. Just Audrey.
But Audrey's the shop girl's name.
I know.
It's not the plant's name at all.
All right, so Audrey Jr., because I'll go with the original.
All right, that's acceptable.
Fuck you.
Welcome to Star Trek Universe, the podcast where you get to listen in on two lifelong friends sit and chat about Star Trek like they always do. My name is Matthew Carroll.
I'm David C. Robertson.
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Hey, I didn't mean to be such a doubter when I said my name, and then you're like, hey, buddy.
Oh, I didn't mean to comfort you.
Yeah.
No, I was just changing gears, you know.
Yeah.
So we have seen the third episode of Star Trek Starfleet Academy. So you teased it up top. Did you think it was good? Great? Did you outright hate it? What'd you think?
I thought it was somewhere between good and great. I thought it was pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good.
That's good.
Pretty good.
So the first two episodes really have me on a, like, I'm giving it a lot of leash, I guess. I thought this episode, it reminds me of some classic Star Trek episodes.
Yeah.
In that it's the baseball episode, right? Like, it's the episode where the team is doing something completely with no stakes. You know, there's never a stake in this episode at all. There's no, like, which, like, I don't want to act like it's a tough juggling act, because I have said in the previous episode that, like, one of the things I really like is that it was still about the mission. You know what I mean? The first two episodes are still kind of about the mission, even though they deal with these relationship things. This episode is just a relationship episode, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And it does remind me of the baseball episode because it's just a sports episode. But, like, I really enjoyed some of the lessons that the Chancellor was trying to teach them. The whole empathy and patience thing, and using it, not only empathy and patience in, like, a lovey-dovey hippie way, but empathy and patience in this, like, tactical way. Like, you need to understand and, like, empathize with your enemy to be able to defeat them. And also, not all of your, what did they say? Not all of your opponents are your enemy, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. It's just a lot of really good philosophical stuff from the Chancellor in this episode, but, like, and overall, I thought it was a little, it was not as, there were no stakes to this episode, and that's okay. And I'm trying to, like, not judge it too harshly, because it's just the kind of episode. My fear is there's going to be more of these than not, because they're at the Academy, which makes sense. They're going to be just, like, doing shit and learning, and I will feel, but, like, where's the interesting subplot about the, you know, why betazoid will join the Federation? Like, that was really cool for me last episode, and the foundation of the school was really cool for me. This episode, there was less for me personally to care about, except the characters, which I did and enjoyed.
Yeah, I really, you know, I love, usually I very much enjoy episodes that focus on character development, and I think we got a lot of backstory, a lot of good foundation for Genesis, and we got a
Darum.
Genesis! Sorry, Star Trek 3 reference. Genesis is planet forbid. Yeah, we got a lot of good backstory on those two. We got some more insight into Caleb. We just got a lot of great, like, little insight. Dude, Kyle and Jaden, something gonna go on there. At the very least, Kyle was like a Jaden's stupid joke. Yeah, I don't know. I felt like we got a lot of good character insight and foundation. Do you think, I'm going to go ahead and call it, I think by the end of the first season, if not by the middle of the first season, like these dudes who were coming down to like inspect and see what the fuck was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're just going to be like, oh fuck y'all, we're merging the War College and the Starfleet Academy. It's just going to be Starfleet Academy now.
Oh,
like, I'm
interesting.
getting that feeling.
I don't think that'll happen right away. Partially because I think that a big part of what I think that War College versus the Federation or the Academy is going to give a lot of interesting sort of like rivalry. But I think what will happen is just like we had rivalry between Caleb and Darum in those first 2 episodes, but then when the shit hits the fan, they had to help each other. I think we're gonna get that same sort of thing. I think we're gonna get like this heated rivalry amongst these like 2 factions, and then when something actually comes to the Academy to attack them, they're all going to work together and like solve the problem together. And that'll. But I think I think keeping them separate will provide some interesting. Again, going back to Harry Potter.
I mean, look, the producer straight up said they created the War College to be basically in a separate house.
Exactly.
In Harry Potter.
They need the house dynamic to make the show have a little more interest to it. And I think that's the right thing to do. So I think you're right that the 2 will merge in some way. But I don't think they'll just like completely merge, because I think that little bit of difference is good.
Yeah, I think there will still be some like division, but I think it's going to be like, y'all are all Starfleet Academy and we're better together, and y'all going to have to learn from each other.
Well, I think that in many ways that wasn't this episode, but this episode was about the War College learning to respect the Academy, which I love. I love them, and the I love the whole thing with I'm forgetting the Chancellor's name. What's her name? Holly Hunter.
Which one? Holly Hunter. It's AKE, I think. AKE?
Okay, maybe I just haven't heard it said as much.
Aka.
Okay,
well, I think it's Aka.
Holly Hunter. She. I will continue to call her Holly Hunter. I thought she was just really fun. Like the whole thing where they were talking about the legendary pranks that were pulled, and then you realize that she was the person who pulled that original legendary prank. That was a lot of fun. And I thought it was a little heavy-handed, her trying to get them to get this plan together. It was weird. It was like a little heavy-handed, but also some big logical leaps that kind of felt Joker-esque from The Dark Knight, where like she's saying things that are very vague for them to actually stitch this plan together, if that was actually her plan. Like certain things I totally got, like the plant itself, like planning the idea of the plant, and I almost wish they'd gone further with the plants. It was really funny, them running away, like, and all the screams being echoed by the plants. Like, it's just really funny, really, really funny. And then the pièce de résistance that like they're not allowed to take the plants out.
Yep.
So good.
That was great stuff. I do think there was a little bit of a Joker thing to it, where it was a little bit of a stretch. It's so funny though that you mentioned the baseball episode, because when we first got introduced to the cadets from the War College, Bethany was like, "So what? In the future, the Vulcans are just dicks?" And I was like, "I mean, as much as they were dicks in Take Me Out of the Holosuite." I was like, by the way, this episode is Take Me Out of the Holosuite.
Yep. It was. I did think that the Vulcan doing his like Vulcan insults was funny. I really enjoyed that whole scene. I loved the Klingon character's constant like criticism of Caleb's comebacks. It's like, that wasn't very good. That was a little better. It's just really good.
I really like that guy so far.
Me too.
Yeah, but also, I have seen a few people on the old internet talking about how the Vulcan shouldn't have been saying that anything was fun, and I'm like, y'all, come on. What about the Vulcan? The Vulcan kids who are absolute assholes to Spock, and we're not even talking about J.J. Abrams. They redid that in the J.J. Abrams movie. That originally came from Star Trek: The Animated Series. That was DC Fontana, motherfuckers. Like, that's like original shit. Like, calm your shit. The Vulcans are dicks.
Yeah. Just Vulcans, and as we've covered a million times, Vulcans still have emotions. They just cover them up, and in many ways, sometimes they're like lying to themselves about how much they're covering it up. Like,
absolutely,
you can see that they're like being guided by emotions, even though they just won't admit it on their face.
Yeah. Plus, in this, 800 years later, we've got in this 32nd century, we've got the Vulcans and the Romulans living side by side. Unification happens. Spock's efforts came to fruition, and they are living on one planet. So, as Discovery taught us, so I'm perfectly fine with a Vulcan being having a bit of fun, but also being incredibly emotionally regulated.
Yeah. Speaking of the other line I really liked from the Klingon in that scene, what's his name?
Jaden.
God, sorry.
Stu
Stu.
Complained about it like 50 times.
I know. I should have remembered Stu's complaints. I really liked when the one guy was like, "Yeah, y'all want to fight? Our very large Klingon friend will have something to say about that," or something like that. And then the guy was just like, That was really good. I think the interesting thing about Darum, I feel like I kind of called it last week. I was talking about these two characters, Caleb and Darum, in relation to Hamilton and Burr from Hamilton, and in this episode we got his sort of got a little bit more behind the scenes of Darum, and I was talking about last week how Darum has this family to live up to, and in this episode he said, I am reaching the standard of excellence that we agreed on, like talking to his parents. Like, he's like, yeah, we agreed on a standard of excellence, and I am going to keep that standard of excellence. It's very, I don't know, very harsh parents he seems to have.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, I really loved, they talked about empathy and patience. And then at the end, he was like, and I'm learning that leadership, there's different ways to be a leader and to lead and to be led. And then he says, and to have empathy and patience, even for oneself. And I was like, man, you got a lot out of this episode. Damn.
Yeah. That's why I've emotionally, I haven't really had a conversation with anybody about it yet, but I have emotionally pushed back on the idea that where people are saying this is just a filler episode, there's no substance to it, it's all just goofy character work, and I'm like, no, there was stuff to it. There was something to it.
Oh, it's goofy character work, but that's where the work happens. What else is there but character work? And letting it be goofy.
Whiz-bang.
Let's let it all be goofy. I don't mind that at all.
I didn't think it was overly goofy. There were some, but the stuff, the people who were saying that, I'm like, you really, for Genesis and Darum, I'm like, y'all never had parents who were fucking really expected some shit of you.
Oh yeah,
that's some heavy shit to learn to give yourself grace in that, in life without after you've gotten out from under the wing of your parent. And
yeah.
I've seen people fall apart under those circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. It is a harsh thing, and it can be too much. If you push it too hard, it can be way too much. And yeah, I thought overall it was a really good episode. I just keeping my criticisms from last week, or really my praise of last week, in mind. It's hard for me to say this is my favorite episode or anything. I think I really enjoyed the last two a lot more. But just because they were about things I cared about more.
Yeah.
I really the Doctor wasn't even in this episode, No, he
wasn't. I didn't miss him though.
I didn't miss him during. It was after, when I was sitting there going man, this episode didn't have any of that stuff about the new Starfleet and what's going on. I really like the stuff I just really like the last two episodes where we're learning about what's happening in Starfleet, because that's what I want. I want to know what's happening in the future of Starfleet, and I thought this show is going to be a vehicle for that, but there's going to obviously be episodes. It doesn't make any sense that the Academy, every episode is going to center around some diplomatic negotiation. It's going to have other types of things happening.
You just need like one of those like old timey newsreels or whatever,
Yeah.
like they did in Starship Troopers as well. You know, it's like
100%. Which
our Starfleet boys are off to the fleet.
You say that, but this episode had that commercial, and it was very Starship Troopers-esque to me. Like it was very, and I loved that they used the Stephen Colbert voice, and then at the end she's like, "Is the voiceover too stupid?" That was great.
Yeah. So I was a little disturbed by the cloning of that Chancellor's eye.
Oh yeah.
Little bit. I'm like, is this gonna come back? Is it because they're doing it so lackadaisically? It's so nonchalant, like they're 3D printing, you know, like a hinge or something. Like, are we gonna get like full on clones of the Chancellor at some point? Is there gonna be like a real like issue? With the cloning,
I'm assuming
at the end of this.
I'm assuming there's probably rules against that, and that the computers probably have guidelines that prevent that in some way, especially at the Academy.
Yes,
I would think.
But there's still a Paul Giamatti out there.
I think that like a med bay being able to clone eyeballs or whatever just makes sense in this world.
Yeah, absolutely, it makes perfect sense. Absolute perfect sense. I'm saying it's foreshadowing.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like that we don't need that foreshadowing to be like, you can have clones. Like, they could have done clones at any point in Star Trek.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have sneezed at it.
Like, it's, you know, not necessarily, it might not, I mean, I might be grasping. It might be, you know, a thing that makes sense to have in universe, in the med bay, but at the same time, something to just gently remind us, like, oh yeah, by the way, clones, remember clones? That can happen. So you won't be shocked when it happens later.
Maybe.
Because I do feel like they are making this for people who are unfamiliar with Star Trek as well at this point.
Yeah, but I feel like cloning is such a ubiquitous thing in all sci-fi. I do think they're also making the show for people who don't care about sci-fi. Like, I haven't had a chance yet, but I've been wanting to show it to my niece because I think my niece will love this. I really do. She's just going to fall in love with all the characters and, you know, say slang that I don't know and really just enjoy herself. I just watching it, I'm like, yeah, it's just very, she really likes Harry Potter, and this is just Harry Potter with sexier adults.
All right. Sure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think my favorite line of this episode was, they shenaned once, they'll shenan again.
Yeah, that was good. And I liked it. I liked that she said it, and I liked that the Chancellor like called her on it. Like, that was a good one. That's like,
yeah.
It's good.
When she was talking about the other Chancellor's tea fetish, it was so funny to me that like, Holly Hunter like stuck her foot like right up at the camera. She's like, of all the fetishes, why that?
I also thought that had to be a little bit of a Picard tease, right?
What was the Picard bit?
A tea fetish. Yeah. You know.
No, I was like, did Picard have a foot fetish?
No, sorry. Just the fact that
is it from stomping on those fucking grapes, man?
One of our most popular captains constantly ordered Earl Grey hot. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, he wasn't like steeping it in shit in special chambers or anything.
He may have been.
He just always went to the replicator.
Yeah. I also, they talked about, in this episode, I've never heard them talk about prepping a replicator before. Did you catch that?
Not really. I didn't pay attention to it.
Talking about something about making dinner for somebody, and someone said they were going to, but I forgot to go home and prep the replicator. And it was like, wait, I thought the whole point was I mean, maybe like if you had a replicator at home, you'd have to load the right ingredients or something like that, you know, like some sort of the right kind of goo that transfers it into whatever.
Right. Just make sure. It's like a, you know, with the holodecks, how you could write a holo novel. Right.
Maybe it's programming the recipe, you know, prepping the replicator. Just I've never heard of that, you know, and like when you go home to prep a meal, it makes total sense.
Right.
I always enjoyed, like in Back to the Future 2, when no one dehydrates a pizza like you, Ma. It's like
rehydrates
a pizza. That's it.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna think of replicators as like future crockpots. I gotta go prep the crockpot. Yeah, like, well, they don't have my special spices. Not my spices. Not my ratios. Like, I gotta put the fucking recipe in. Because, they always talked about on Star Trek every time, like, oh, well, tomato soup. No, not that kind. Oh, it tastes terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go grow a tomato in my quarters.
All right. Yoshi. Was that her name?
What?
Soshi? What's O'Brien's wife's name?
Keiko.
Who's the other? There's a Soshi or Sadie. I don't know. Never mind.
His son was Yoshi, I think.
His son was Yoshi.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of. I was like, I know there's a Yoshi in those quarters somewhere.
I was like, Keiko, you racist?
It was her son's name.
I was totally waiting on you to be like, what was his daughter's name? And I'm like, Molly. You racist?
I should have remembered Keiko, though. That's obvious. Like, now that I hear Keiko O'Brien, of course, I'm like, oh, right. It's been a long time. I after watching last week's episode, I've been really like craving to go back. It was last week's episode, and then I also just happened across a couple YouTube videos about Star Trek this week that were just talking about like certain episodes and sort of breaking them down. And I was like, I just need to go watch some DS9.
Yeah, absolutely. What'd you think of Reno and Thok being together?
Oh, I thought it was cool. I thought it was very underplayed. They kind of revealed
liked that
it.
It was underplayed.
Yeah, me too. They waited till the third episode to introduce the idea. I think it works really well. We'll see how. Like, I think they're both really funny characters, in different ways, and I can definitely see them playing a lot of funny like moments together throughout the series in general. And now that they're in a relationship, it just provides for more of that comedy, I think.
Yeah, I don't like throughout the episode. Whether they were together, running the little war games or whatever. I was like, they have really good chemistry that I have yet to notice. Like, that's pretty good. And then when that reveal happened, I was like, oh, oh no! Like,
it was interesting that's like why she moved to the academy, like that's why she's there, because and it was just that conversation with her and Darum where she's like, God, sorry, I'm getting emotional, as I do, the idea that like Jet had been through things probably with her family even, and this is the distant future, so hopefully it wasn't about the gay thing, but like even just as a lesbian playing that character, Tig Notaro probably has some experience in this area where like, your parents may not show up for you like they need to, and her being like, yeah, when if you have to seek out a word from someone so hard, that word's probably not worth hearing, like,
yeah,
and it just like kind of opening them up to the idea that like your family's not the only like source of validation in this world. And I think that was it was a powerful scene. And she said that, and then she said the thing about, and that's why I'm going to this dinner with her, because that's why I moved here, because that's how you show up for people,
Yeah. The quote was, I left a starship on the edge of creation to be with her. That's what you call showing up for someone. Has someone ever done that for you? I don't know. Maybe someone who was furious with you, or maybe someone you repeatedly underestimated, who was also your classmate named Genesis. I got it. I didn't know. I mean, you went far away. I was worried about you.
I liked that whole speech. Her actually turning it and talking about Genesis, though, I felt like was a little out of nowhere. Like, I hadn't seen her noticing their interactions as much,
I was great with it.
The joke was great.
Yeah, I mean, she's been there, through all the games and seeing them compete, and she was there watching, as he brought up her fucking family issues and to distract her and get the captain of the team.
Yeah. I loved it when he turned over his captaincy to her. Like, it was just really good.
It was absolutely
it was really
great.
good. Like, him being truly humbled and handing it over was great.
Yeah.
It's very character building for him.
Laura Thok screaming, "Why aren't any of you crying?" And Caleb goes, "I can cry." Quiet.
Caleb's great. Caleb's so good.
Yeah. And when I saw it in the trailer, I wasn't like huge on it, but like I'd forgotten about the scene now, and where he was like, "Why is everything here a lesson? It's a school, Caleb." That actually really made me laugh.
Yeah.
In context.
I said this when we did the review of the trailer, but the way they laugh at it, the line, and it's sort of in universe is them sort of laughing at it, makes the line work for me. Like, it's not like, because it's a school, Caleb, and then you hear like a laugh track. It's like, because it's a school, Caleb, and then they both kind of laugh. He laughs at himself, and that's great. She is constantly making the students realize that their shit is not the most important in the world, and sort of humbling them a little bit, and just, I love her teaching style, I guess.
But she's also doing it for the other people, the other adults. Like, she's doing that for Thok. She's doing that with T-Man.
for sure.
T-Man, I don't know his name. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
the other,
the War College Chancellor.
Yeah, like. That's something that I love in TV, and you don't really see it a whole lot. Like, normally you will get like a show like fucking, Arrow or Leverage or, some show where like all of them they've all got like quippy little funny things to say, but no one ever laughs. It's always just very tense, and they're all just saying shit and no one's ever laughing. Like, I like in real life where like we make jokes to each other and then we laugh because we're arrogant pieces of shit who think we're funny.
Yeah, or just like we think each other are funny, we're making each other laugh, and then like, once everyone's laughing, it's fun. And I just think Holly Hunter is really
bringing
killing
it on that.
She's bringing it on that, but also just everything. Her like just sort of hippie vibe of like. Doing her own thing, always being barefoot, like kind of teaching, but like in this very soft way, and trying to make all the students understand what it just is really really lovely. I've really.
Did you see that she had like jewelry on her feet at some point?
Yeah, I did. It was like it looked like it was part of her pants, kind of like it was going up over her toes. Yeah. It
was funny. I was like, they're really doing this thing with her. That's fine. That's fine.
I like it.
I'm fine with it.
I like it. It's.
I think it's funny.
It's funny, and it's like it's charming, and she's the chancellor, so she gets to do whatever she wants, and like you could have a hard ass sort of principal of the school, but instead you've got female Dumbledore. I'm just gonna keep on. It's just this show is Harry Potter.
It's fun in this way, like too. Before the show came out, there was a whole lot of backlash. There was a lot of review bombs, a lot of people screaming that it's not Star Trek. And now, even just a week after the first episodes have dropped, we've had a huge surge in the opposite direction of people saying, no, fuck you, this is good.
Yeah,
and
that's great.
I've heard less and less of these assholes, and a lot of them have forgotten about it. But because that part of it's over, they're done. And in a few years, if it comes back for a third season, they'll be like, this show's still in the air. But I do enjoy her being barefoot and her sitting the way she does in her command seat, because it pisses off so many people.
Yeah, I do too.
Who are like, she shows no respect for the office, and this is like Obama without a tie all over again. It's so stupid.
The tan suit or whatever. Yeah.
Like, y'all are way too upset about this.
Fox News made a whole week out of Obama wearing a tan suit, and Trump can break all the amendments of the Constitution, and everyone's like, it's fine.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of like when they did the official Obama portrait and he didn't have a tie.
Oh.
And they flipped out. Like, oh!
Idiots.
Y'all are fucking stupid.
For real. All right. Well, you got any other notes or anything you want to bring up?
I love the Mugato.
Is that's what he was? Or no, that's what that's the ice monster, right? Was that Star
It
Trek?
wasn't an ice monster.
What is it?
It's just like a big gorilla thing with a horn.
Where is it from?
The original series.
Okay.
Originally.
Yeah, I thought so. I remember seeing it in the original series, but I was
a piece of the action.
Piece of the action. Okay. I remember seeing it, but I couldn't remember where.
Yeah.
What about what
then,
what were they? They were the Academy was something else.
Oh, the Lapling.
Lapling. And what is that? What is a Lapling?
I don't know about that one.
Okay.
I don't remember that one.
Gotcha.
I know the Mugato bit Kirk, and they had to get it was a piece of the action. They had to get the witch woman to save him with some gyrating root or something. I say or something like I haven't watched that fucking episode like 50 times, but I'm just so afraid I'm gonna like misspeak, and then like they'll be like, "Oh, your nerd card's taken" or whatever. I don't care about cards. I don't remember shit.
I got the sense that this was the case, but it says on Memory Alpha, the Lapling was a small, defenseless creature which was believed to be extinct until one was found in somebody's collection, Kivas Fajot's collection in 2366. It was characterized as large, blue, compound eye, brown skin, large mouth. I was trying to see where, like what series this was. TNG Newground. TNG episode Newground.
Okay.
Anyway,
cool.
I was just curious because it looked almost like a little Gorn, like a baby Gorn or something. But
it does.
But it was apparently completely a small and defenseless creature, which I think is very funny to have as a mascot.
Yeah. By the way, I love that bit where I didn't write it down. Where Reno says like, "Yep, Thok wanted to like take the losers and feed their eyes to baby Gorns."
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, we've got some feedback.
Great.
Jumping back to first of all, on feedback, we'll just go ahead and say this: like, why I got to listen to my wife listening to our review of the last episode.
Oh, interesting.
And she was like yelling at us in the shower. we were saying ALS and it's ASL. ALS is a debilitating disease.
All right. Yeah, obviously. I don't remember saying that, but I hear you.
I heard us. We both did.
All right.
I said it first. It was my fault.
Oh, okay. You incepted me.
I did. But we did look back at it, and Tawny Newsome was listed as co-producer on both episodes. She was not a guest star.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I really thought I saw a guest star in the credits.
Yeah, we looked back. So, okay, Starfleet Academy Episode 1 from Andre Sparks says, "Hey guys, I just finished the episode and I gotta say I love the mix of old and new. The references, the Doctor, and the story of the search/mystery of the Mother are most intriguing. Then the attack took things to the next level. Where do you think this goes from here? More mission-based or learning-based for the cadets? I think it's gotta be a mix."
Yeah.
He says, "Can't wait to hear your thoughts." Well, you just did. Sterling Gray writes in, says, "Hey guys, first off, thanks guys for talking about Star Trek, including the TOS rewatch. I just finished Friday's Child. McCoy slapped a pregnant woman. Wow." He sure did, Sterling. He sure did.
Stop trying to make it sound like it's a good thing.
Well, she was terrible. He says, "I don't have anyone to really talk with about Trek, and I enjoy your conversations. I watched Starfleet Academy Episode 1 and 2, and I like it so far. I didn't expect to like it, because I feared it would be a teen/young adult drama, which it might be. But so far, I like the characters. I realized that when Nusbraka attacked, and I didn't want any of the main cast to die. I don't know where the show will go."
I love it. I love that so much, that metric of like, oh, there's an attack. And you're like, I'm not hoping. I normally hope someone dies at this moment.
Right?
That's really funny.
That's pretty dark, man. No judgment. I don't know where the show will go with its overall theme, but it's Trek, and I'll always be along for the ride. I thought the characters and setting were introduced well, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they build out this section of the 31st century. I think it's the 32nd. I'll have to watch it again just because I kept searching the background for Easter eggs. Quick thoughts. I know it's 2 episodes, so I'm not nitpicking. I like number 1. So far, she's a nice balanced mix between Jemadar and Klingon. In Discovery, we saw that the transporters could change a person's clothes, but I didn't know they could give a dude a shower and a fade as well. Sign me up! I hate how the ship's bridge looks so much like Pike's Enterprise. The Enterprise just looks too modern. And I really think Strange New Worlds missed the mark by making that ship look too modern. I agree. 1,000 years in the future should allow for a radically different design. If you turn on the closed caption, the exocomp's name was Almond Basket. We didn't talk about that on the show.
No, we didn't. We talked about it afterwards. I love that.
A lot of love to all of the previous Trek shows. Rock Talk was a pleasant surprise. It was a brick R, but it wasn't Rock Talk.
Yeah. I kept calling him Rock Talk. Them Rock Talk too. Because it was whatever Rock Talk species is, which is apparently Rictar.
How does a 6-year-old escape onto a desert planet in a sandstorm? Sensors don't work. Apparently, if you want to get past a force field meant to keep prisoners on a transport, all you have to do is push a person into it hard enough. Yeah, it was a little weird, but, it was pretty windy out, and, they've never been able to invent a set of sensors that could get through a sandstorm on Star Trek. There are clearly some unexpected turns coming from Caleb's mother and Braca. Crockpot theory incoming.
Ooh.
What?
Crackpot, maybe? I think he means crackpot.
Oh, crackpot.
But crockpot is funny. I like that. Let's just say crockpot.
I was just talking about a crockpot.
Yeah.
I like crockpot theories. I save them all the time.
Yeah, I save crockpot theories from Instagram all the time.
Yeah.
That's a really funny name for a cooking YouTube channel. Crockpot theories.
Oh, it's so good.
It's pretty good.
It's so good.
Pretty good.
I would subscribe based on the name alone.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if she is going to turn out to be the leader of the Venari Rawl.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe she masterminded the crime of taking down the freighter, and Braca sold her out because she was supposed to take the fall.
Well, the way it seemed to break down is she had sold him out at the beginning of the first episode. But that could be the thing. Like, if she's the leader, maybe she threw her underling under the bus instead of the other way around. It seemed like the way she talked about it to Caleb made it seem like he was, he's feeding us and taking care of us, but doesn't always tell us. That's a good call, actually. I really like this theory because it really recontextualizes that whole first scene when she's like, he's a man that feeds us and takes care of us, but he doesn't always tell us how he's doing that or something like that. And like, that sounded like someone who was almost like keeping her like a pet or something. Like she may be working for him, but like under duress or something, like where she needs to be fed. But in retrospect, it could be that she's like the boss, and she's like, he was like an underling that didn't tell her everything he should have, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am really like dying to see the interaction. Caleb is becoming so Starfleet. He's getting bought in. He's really getting bought in. It's only 3 episodes, and he did not mention his mother once this episode. And like I didn't expect it to go that fast, that he would like not be talking about her yet, and I'm sure he will continue to look for her. He will continue to care, but I think he's like, by the end of the season, maybe season 2, he's going to be fully Starfleet, fully bought in on the mission. He's going to have saved so many lives and done so many valiant things, and then she's going to show up and be like, what did I tell you? Don't trust them. He's going to have to make that decision again,
It's going to be just like when Will moved back home in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and then had to go back.
Yep, just like that.
And Uncle Phil didn't like that he had a beeper. I don't know.
Really funny.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good theory, honestly.
Yeah, I do. I don't know about if she's going to be the leader. Like, I don't, but it's a great theory. But I either way, I'm just pumped for that interaction. It's got to. I'm hoping it's the end of the season.
I'll tell you what, Sterling. I don't think that was a typo. Yeah, that's not a crackpot theory. That is a crockpot theory, because this shit's cooking.
No, it's cooking. He's cooking over there.
Thank you for writing in, Sterling. And you should do that more. It's enjoyable. Another Andre Sparks here for this for episode 2. He says, finally got to episode 2. I will say, I still love this new show. This episode was more talk and less action, but what was said was important and continues to relate to our current culture and politics. The continued importance of working together going forward and letting the youth guide us was interesting. The new characters will definitely bring more energy into the show. I loved seeing the Admiral back. He's such a great actor. More Prodigy and Discovery inserts make me smile every time. I haven't listened to your cast yet, so if you answered, I'm sorry. No, we didn't. Here's my new question. Do you think Mir's mom will have a connection to the Beta Z being attacked?
Interesting. Yeah, I do. And this is like combining Andre's question with Sterling's theory, but like,
yeah,
you know, this makes total sense because, yeah, I didn't even connect that at all. But now that I'm thinking about her still being a member of what's the organization called? Someone just said it.
Sterling said it. Venari
Rawl. Like she's probably still out there working with them, if not leading them, as Sterling suspects.
I mean, it seems like she and Paul Giamatti broke out together.
Right. So the Venari Rawl, like, they're the ones attacking Beta Z, and let's say they execute some big attack on Beta Z, and like that's actually, yeah, this is if I'm writing the show, this is always the dangerous waters we get into, because we end up theorizing about some big thing that's not going to happen. But they end up on Beta Z to induct them into the because all the Starfleet is lining up to induct them into Federation and have all the ceremony around that. It's the end of the season, and like that's all happening, and they're like, maybe they're, you know, the new Starfleet headquarters or whatever is being built or being like, you know, inaugurated somehow. And then the Venari Rawl attack, and Caleb and all of them start to defend and help and work, and then it's his mom in the leading the attack, and you're like, oh. And it's like, because then it's not just Starfleet versus his mom, it's also the girl he's falling in love with versus his mom, you know? Yeah, that's where this is going. I feel like that's good.
Probably.
All this is good calls. I like it.
Yeah. I dig it. We finally got Stu Little here.
Stu!
Oh, Stu! I'm scared, because Stu didn't seem to like it last week.
Oh, yeah.
He titled this one Prank
I'm
Track.
scared, Dave.
I'm so terrified.
What's Stu gonna say? Is he gonna undermine everything I think about the show? I'm scared, Dave. I don't know what this is.
I don't want to give a voice to dissent.
I'm scared I'm gonna say a thing from someone else I don't agree with. I just don't like not agreeing with everything. I don't know. Sorry, this is silly. What does Stu have to say?
Let's see. Buns of steel, cadets. That's inappropriate, even coming from a robot. I don't even remember that.
He said buns of steel?
Apparently a robot said buns of steel, cadets.
Interesting. I know that they were definitely like going around telling them to, like, I thought they said something like keep the buns in the air or something like that. She was telling them to do different, which was funny because when you do plank, which is what they were doing, you're supposed to keep your butt down. But at one point, one of the little robots went by and keep those buns in the air, cadets. And I was like, oh, what does that mean? You know, you're supposed to not bend your waist and stick your butt in the air. That's not how a plank works.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, I maybe one of us misheard.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's inappropriate. It's fine. It's a robot.
Robot.
Now, one of those robots did say "ow" when Laura Thirk hit him.
Oh, So now we already know that they're like,
They laugh too. We saw that. In a couple episodes ago.
So we already knew they were modeling sort of like communication with humans, but is that an actual experience of pain? Are they sentient? Or was that just like them acting it out because it's part of their programming?
Sounds like we should do an episode about it. Call it Measure of a Can.
Indeed.
All right, Stu continues. Why does a hologram need to use the shower? To fit in.
Yeah.
Edit. Okay, it was a bath per later scene. All right. Well, because she's never done it before.
Oh, no, I thought the bath thing was because she fell in. Remember? Yeah, she got they teleported them all out of the shower, and when she got teleported out, she fell into...
Yeah, she was like in
She
underwater.
fell under... They teleported her underwater, and so... And that's when she said, I had my first bath. I thought she meant that. I didn't think she meant the shower she was taking.
Okay.
But I don't know.
There you go. I mean, I'm fine with it. Look, if you are a hologram, I mean, as they said in the Next Generation, they're made up of hard light. So if people can touch them, filth from the atmosphere can touch them, and conceivably they might need a bath.
Yeah, but the whole like her turning permeable or whatever, like it seems like a bath could just be.
It might be there. It's probably just there for experience sake.
Yeah,
if she did take a bath,
I think that's pretty likely.
He continues. It's not our job. Quote. It's not our job to resolve our students' problems for them. End quote. Okay, but it was a very public and disruptive prank, and the perpetrators admitted it proudly on a big screen. Not to mention, it's unclear if they cared if all of their victims would be exposed in the nude. They made an adult instructor see teenage Wang. That would kind of call for disciplinary action, yes? I'm glad she was a chancellor for that whole Nova Squadron incident.
I do think this prank of forcing someone to be nude in public is probably a little lower on the disciplinary chart than, one of your fellow pilots dying.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But, also pretty sure Caleb is an adult.
Yeah, I think so too. He's 21 or 19. I think they said it in the first episode.
All the other the younger students were clothed.
Yeah, that's true. They were careful to only transport the adults nude.
Yeah.
So really, he's the predator in the situation.
Yeah. I understand it. Stu says, did anyone else get the impression Akka was high in her first scene? I'm also glad for these scenes with Thok and Akka for being able to show the latter is more than just a comical, shouty drill sergeant type of character. I agree with that. I don't know that she was high. I wouldn't put it past her. Yeah.
Well, and also, I really like that. I think that's another thing with Thok. She could just be that drill sergeant character, but she's got this interplay with the Chancellor, but Ake, but she also has now we're going to see a very different interplay with Jet Reno. So I think it'll round her character out nicely.
Stu says, well, I certainly hope the class that transported the people out to Alcatraz while they were showering got expelled at least. No, turns out.
Nope, they did not.
Logged in the history books as legendary. Some are still decorated officers. Why should Caleb be DQ'd for taking down a drone shooting at him? That's totally something you do in real combat scenario, which Calico is supposed to be simulating. Or does only James T. Kirk get commended for original thinking?
Yeah, I think that's the rules. I think you're supposed to be dodging and running from the blasters. I don't think you're supposed to destroy the computers that creating the scenario.
Yeah, I agree. Stu says, did she say, okay, great, or gay, great, in response to Cadet Krog's meet cute with that guy? Also, a gay Klingon? Great. Can't wait for all the obnoxious thumbnails bitching about that in my YouTube algorithm. Well, they were already upset that he was a bird watcher, So I don't know, Stu. Maybe just I don't know. I don't know how YouTube works anymore. You can just click not interested.
Yeah,
on the little dots. We can't halt progress because of assholes.
Wish that were true, Dave. Wish that were true.
I mean, yeah.
It's basically the entirety of this era of America.
Yeah, I know. Stu says, I thought whatever Akka was wearing on her feet was actually scales at first. Nah, bitch, she moisturizes. You don't get to that age looking as good as she does without moisturizing.
That Chancellor is moist as hell.
What's she using, CeraVe? Quote, I'm not like other betazoids. Yeah, you don't have black irises for some reason. What? I guess that was the thing. I mean, it was for Troy until, later.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that they all had black irises. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I guess I didn't realize that. But it's 800 years. I gotta, like, I'm standing up against all these Trekkies. I'm sorry it's you this time, Stu, but everybody upset about, like, menial little thing. Like, did we talk about the Charons last week from Let That Be Your Last Battlefield? The half black, half white face.
Oh, yeah.
People were freaking out about that. Like, oh, they're supposed to be gone. They're supposed to be dead. They didn't watch the original series. Okay, well, if you didn't watch the original series, because go back in they said last two known members of that species in the universe. And they were called back to their homeworld. Like, they were already out in the galaxy. So clearly there could be other of their kind. And then we saw, I know a lot of people didn't watch Section 31 movie, and it was shit. It was an awful fucking movie.
Yeah.
But there was one of those species, half white, half black, serving Giorgio. So her little assistant or whatever.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So they're fucking around, y'all. Like, all these, like... And yeah, by the way, if you can genetically engineer an entire species... At some point, and yeah, I get it, they were all male and they didn't have dicks or whatever the fuck y'all are bitching about. They don't reproduce because they're bred to be warriors. That shit's over now. Give them a dick. Give them a vagine. Whatever you gotta do. It's 800 years. If you could create an entire species, you could certainly, if you're the founders, you can certainly give them genitals.
For sure.
Like the most fucking, like, just,
they're a genetically engineered species. They could absolutely just like change a chromosome or whatever. Yeah, give them another X.
We don't.
It's also half Klingon too. So yeah, like I don't know. There's just plenty of ways this could happen. It also could just be like cross breeding through like in a medical way to like clone or create.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be through sexual reproduction. Yeah, we don't know Thok's background.
Well, she did say, I think her mother was Klingon, her father was Jemadar.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But there's so much they could do. Species can evolve, they change over time. You're talking about 800 years here.
I just hope with the black and white cookie people, I just hope they let in the right ones.
Right.
I don't want them to let in the lefties, not the righties. If you know what I'm saying.
Whichever one was, they were both assholes.
I know. I'm just,
if you recall,
I'm just picking a side in their war.
and that one was fucking Frank Gorshin from Riddler from the old '66 Batman series.
Oh yeah, neat.
Yeah. Anyway, like we gotta let some imagination in, y'all. Like, all this strict ass canon shit is just, y'all are not even thinking anymore. Y'all just
when you just freak out because you can't think of a way it could work. Like, it's one thing if it's like very clear canon break. Other things are like, yeah, that they could have just evolved in a different way, or like you said, the last two known or whatever. It's all different.
And what kills me is they're like, oh, Kurtzman always does this shit. Like, this is you got to say it on screen or it's a plot hole. Motherfucker, they had ridged Klingons that they didn't explain for fucking 30 years.
That's so true. So true. And we didn't have a problem with it. I mean, I'm sure there were people that had problems with it, but, whatever.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, to empathize with Stu a little bit and other people feeling that way, I think there's a muscle, there's a suspension of disbelief that if you're holding that suspension of disbelief, you can let the show have a lot of rope, a lot of leash, and then like if you lose suspension of disbelief in a certain show, you just start judging all the small things. And I've definitely reached that point with some of these shows. I mean, I think I reached that point in Strange New Worlds season 3 where I was like, I was wanting to nitpick every little thing because I was so mad at how sloppy some of the episodes were that everything became an issue because the big things were issues, And so I understand, like, if Stu's feeling that way about the show, if he hasn't bought in yet, then like, I understand why you start nitpicking everything. But I would just encourage everybody listening, give it a chance,
Yeah. 800 years is a long time. A lot of things can change.
Indeed.
Creating a fungal outbreak to cause an infestation of plants that indiscriminately attack the war college cadets kind of upgrades this from pranking to biological warfare, technically.
True. Legendary.
I'm glad Stu isn't a chancellor of anything. Man, you're strict. You're strict as fuck, dude.
Not my chancellor, Stu. Not my chancellor. You chancel elsewhere.
Chancel? Oh. Anyway. Stu says, so this was fun. Despite my misgivings about how lightly Akka was taking the initial pranking incident and her manipulations to have her students escalate it to the point that the entire war college gets shown up. Not just the actual small group of instigators. I get why she was doing
but that's also because I don't know if she'd gone as hard if it weren't for the like other chancellor being involved. Like the other chancellor had to be taught a lesson. And so I think they were all targets at that point.
Yeah. He a dick.
He a dick.
He is.
Mm-hmm. I'm with you.
Anyway. Blah, blah, blah. I get why she was doing it, but would you want an actual real life college to be run like that? Absolutely, I would. Absolutely. I never lived in a dorm.
It just depends on, like, it seems there were definitely, like, some moments that seemed a little, like with the one guy being held, like, 20 feet in the air by the plant up against a window or whatever. Like, that looked pretty rough. So maybe maybe they did go a little far. I guess I was thinking, like, maybe the safety, they just knew the plants were somewhat safe in reality. But there were a few, like, like that one guy being slammed into the window, like, way above the ground. Like, that looked pretty dangerous.
I didn't think it went far enough. I think...
Choke them.
Like, genocide by Audrey 2.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, I was also feeling the hour-long runtime a bit by the end. The inter-school Calica contest felt like a natural third act climax point, but it ended without resolution and went on for another while. Darum and Caleb's character development was good, but I wonder if next episode is that just going to be reset to their general character types, and if not, how does that keep them interesting? Props for not resolving the there can only be one captain thing with a co-captaincy due to their initial tie and making it less of a loss for Darum, but growth. Gay Klingon? Fine. Though it feels a little like they're throwing all the unconventional traits of being a Klingon into this one character. Pacifistic doctor who likes men. Will he be vegan too? Then again, who's to say these are unconventional Klingon qualities and not just things that weren't mentioned before? I don't remember ever seeing a Mrs. Gowron, do you?
He's not vegan. He has to have blood in his food. He said it this episode. Yeah. He has to have blood gushing out of his food. And he talks it dying on his plate and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't necessarily get that he's, I mean, like, it did cross my mind that he and this Kyle dude might be, feeling each other.
Totally didn't cross my mind. I feel blind that this many people have mentioned it, and apparently are talking about it online. I didn't even I didn't catch it. I saw that the guy was like, "This guy's funny." Like, I just thought that's all I thought it was. I didn't catch it. There might be a spark there.
Yeah, it might be, but more so to me, at least at this point, it feels like just somebody who's not a dick in the war college.
Yeah, that's how I took it. I took it as like these people are a little more complicated than just bad guys, good guys. You know.
Yeah. So maybe. Who cares? But, I don't know why. I don't know why Klingons, I mean, it's absolutely accurate. We've had Klingons building the ships. We've had Klingons. We've Klingon doctors. We've had all these. And yes, in Klingon culture, they've been shit on when we've seen those kinds of Klingons.
Right.
Like, you're not a real warrior. But, I mean, somebody's got to be doing that shit. So why can't there be a Klingon doctor who likes to bird watch? For fuck's sake.
Yeah. I like he still cares a lot about honor, though, just in a different way. He got through the teleporting incident, and he was like, "What of our honor?" It's just good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. So, if Jaden is gay, I don't care. I'm happy for him, and if he's not, that's fine too. And I'm liking him as a character. The most important thing to me is motherfucker's funny. Like, he's hitting those beats.
Yeah.
He's hitting his character's got some great one-liners, and seems like he has a lot of depth to play with on the show, and they all do.
Yep.
So I'm digging it, and it doesn't feel. I've been so aggravated because I've been seeing people say Star Trek 90210. And I'm like, y'all are pulling that. First of all, y'all are pulling that joke out from like the old J.J. Abrams movie.
Plus, Dave loves 90210.
But also, like after Discovery, after so much of Discovery, not all of it, but some of it, and especially this last season of Strange New Worlds, I'm like, we could do with some Star Trek 90210 because that show was good as fuck.
I knew it. I knew that's where you were going. You were a big fan. I remember. You were
that show was on point.
I think it was every Wednesday you were taping it because we were at church.
Yeah, man.
You were like 10, loving 90210 and Melrose Place.
Dude. Hell yeah. Melrose Place and 90210. Yeah, those were good shows. Like, I don't understand why everybody shits on them. I'm like, first of all, because they're like also saying like CW Star Trek. I'm like, okay, so 90210 is not CW, not the original. Like, literally, the revival series was CW. Right. And the revival Melrose Place. I never even watched. I mean, I watched part of the first 90210. It wasn't bad. What's funny is I
love this reveal that you're a nighttime soap head. Dude. You're a daytime soap head too. Let's face it.
I was. Yeah. I didn't like those though. Like I watched those because they were funny to watch. Like Days of Our Lives, like Marlena's fucking possessed again, and she's floating above a wedding, and she's gonna crash this chandelier down, or like here's fucking Bo with his eye patch or whatever. Like, yeah, I was into Sunset Beach. I was into Passions. Passions was the fucking best and worst. Because, like, a girl literally had hell inside, a portal to hell inside of her closet. There was, like, an old lady who ran around with, like, a little person who was a doll in the show's canon that she brought to life, and they were doing, like, evil shit and fucking people over. What the hell? Like, Passions was crazy as fuck, dude.
Sounds like it.
But it was hilarious, and you're just like, what is happening on this show?
It's so funny. When Buffy came out, the people that I knew that liked Buffy when it was in its first run, the geeky girls in my like class or whatever, it was all girls, and they all like just loved. They were really into the romance side of the story, you know. Yeah. And so I assumed for like 10 years that it was just until Firefly came out, basically that it was just a soap opera type show similar to the stuff that you're talking about. And I was not interested, just not interested at all. And then one day, I saw Firefly, and then I saw that puppet episode of Angel and like Smile Time. And I got into it, and it's just funny how you can change your perspective on stuff like that. But and really just that I made assumptions about that show based on this other stuff. Yeah. Now look, like 90210 was silly at times. Like they did like stuff that you're just like, oh come on, it's like so overwrought a little bit. But like
like, oh, Dylan's fucking drunk and falling into the pool.
Yeah.
You know, like, but it's funny, like, how you can, because I did grow up loving that show, but like recently they were just showing them all on Pluto TV or something, or Tubi. And me and Bethany just got really into it. Like, just like really, and we're like, you know, it's like, it's not just like, it is silly. Like, that we definitely had our bits where we would laugh at shit, but it's also like gripping in a very uncomfortable way. Like, they knew how to like get that attention and that like, that draw in a way that most CW shows that I've seen absolutely never fucking figured out.
Yeah.
So, respect on 90210's name.
I will not, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that. I mean, I liked it when I was like, I think I watched the first season or so when I was young.
Yeah.
Very young. I don't know when that came out exactly, but I watched like the first season as it aired, and then I just fell off. But I was a little kid. I just never, I don't generally like those shows very much. But I just don't think this show, I don't think we know what it is yet. Starfleet Academy, I think the first two episodes were really great. I don't think they were very soapy. I don't think they were very, it didn't feel like CW or Saved by the Bell to me. Like, it felt like, good Star Trek. This episode felt a little more like low stakes, high school drama kind of stuff. And, I will admit, there's a little bit of like the way that it resolved, and Stu kind of hit on this, the way that it resolved with this like biological attack being such a small thing, and like this clearly kind of dangerous event happening. I think it would have been better probably without the actual like picking up of people and slamming them into stuff. Like, it would have felt a little more like a prank, because that seemed like it might have been. Of course, it's also the distant future. Everyone can get healed pretty easily and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. It made that the little plant attack and the guy getting slammed into the glass made the world feel a little rubber bandy to me, which makes it feel a little like cartoonish or something, or almost like Disney Channel-esque in a way, where it's like, oh, we're in a space future where we're gonna win by sicking giant plants on our enemies. It just feels a little Gumby to me. I don't know what exactly I mean by that, but feels a little not real. Did you see Fantastic Four yet?
Yeah.
Spoiler, very small spoiler alert, Fantastic Four. It's in the first few minutes of the movie. You know the scene where Mole Man steals the department store or whatever? To the skyscraper, and it like falls into Mole Man land, and it shows people falling through the earth and landing. Like, that is cartoony as fuck. All of those people are dead in a real world. You know what I mean? And I was watching that, and I was like, Mole Man just stole a building, but he didn't even use like some sort of like teleportation or like levitating it down. He just like cut a hole in the ground and dropped a skyscraper the length of a skyscraper. I was like, you just killed thousands of people.
Yeah.
But in that world, it made me feel like the Fantastic Four world was a little Gumby. Like, I was like, oh, this is fun, but that's not what Star Trek is. Star Trek isn't Gumby. So that scene did feel
Tell that to Lower Decks.
Oh, I agree. Well, and that's one of the things about this show feels more like Lower Decks than other Star Treks to me.
In some ways, yeah. But also, Tawny Newsom is like the head writer or some shit.
She is one of the writers, yeah. I don't think she's head writer, right?
I don't know. I thought I saw what she was, but she is a producer on the show.
Yeah.
She is a writer and story editor / creative force for the upcoming Star Trek Starfleet Academy series. Not the head writer,
but a creative force, which means she has more than just writing on her day.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So she apparently has some creative control. I do think that I thought that I don't think I said it in our first review, but I did think that a lot watching the first and second episode, that there were moments where this felt like some of the lines just felt like Lower Decks to me, which I didn't mind. I didn't hate, but it felt cartoony, and like this episode with the plants made it feel even more cartoony to me.
I'll tell you something I don't think I've ever said on this show before.
Ooh.
I may not have ever even said it out loud.
Exclusive.
Yeah. You know I've been watching original series with Effie, watching it again. This would be my first time watching after all this new stuff. I have felt, even with the TNG stuff that I've gone back and looked at, I have felt like through the prism of now having seen Lower Decks, TOS and TNG feels more Lower Decks to me.
Huh.
Like, I'm starting to see the bits in Lower Decks, and I'm like, this wasn't far off.
No, I think they do a pretty good job in Lower Decks of, like, making the show feel like the original, like those original things, and it's just a little dialed up. It's just slightly dialed up. And I think that this show, even though it's in live action, is keeping that little bit of dialed up going. And some of the jokes are a little dialed up, and some of the... I mean, we had an almond basket last week, like...
Yeah, we did.
Like it's pretty Lower Decksy in places. Did you go back? Did you rewatch that scene with almond basket?
I did. You're absolutely right.
That's great.
Look, though, here's the thing, though, is it's when you go back... through after the when you look back at TOS, TNG, and probably even DS9 through the prism of Lower Decks, and you see like, oh shit, yeah, that's pretty accurate. This is just this universe. Some of it is because of just dated bullshit, and then some of it is not. Some of it is just like the genuine, because Star Trek's always had that kind of like slapsticky comedy. More than anything, like if they were going to do an episode that was comedy, it was going to be a little Trouble with Tribbles. I mean, it's going to be a little like Shore Leave. It's going to be a little stupid.
Yeah. There's definitely some stupid comedy, and that's always appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. So looking at it through that prism, like you're just like, oh my, and it's not even as like Lower Decks is not as dialed up as you thought it was when you're watching it. I think as Star Trek fans, a lot of times I feel like we buy into this notion that, we are Star Trek fans. We are very intellectual. We're more intellectual than the Star Wars fans because we value diplomacy and intellectualism. Dude, Star Trek is goofy as fuck.
Yeah, but goofy as fuck doesn't mean you can't have sort of this sort of consistent world. There are very goofy moments in Star Trek, but and yeah, I do buy into the fact that, like, in general, Star Trek is a little more intellectual than Star Wars. Maybe not anymore. Like, you've got things like Andor, which, like, probably surpasses anything Star Trek's ever done for, like, the political and intellectual side of things. I'm trying to think of anything Star Trek's done that's even close, and I can't. Andor probably beat it. But, like, other than Andor, I really can't think of something in Star Wars that feels as much a real exploration of ideas or whatever.
I mean, stuff like Pale Moonlight comes to mind. Stuff like Measure of a Man.
Yeah.
Mostly DS9.
Right. I totally agree. Those are good. I think Andor has them beat.
Yeah.
Have you seen Andor?
I've seen a big chunk of it, and I didn't understand all the stuff that was going on, and I'm just like, okay, I just need to go back and watch more. It's dense.
You really have to watch it. Like, you have to pay attention. You have to watch it and pay attention, and you have to watch it to really get it all to, like, pretty close to each other. Because I feel like there's a lot of just little plot lines that are being sewn throughout. It's a dense show. And I think, like, what it's talking about with politics and revolution and, like, all that stuff is done in a way that is at once intellectual, but it's also very subtle in a way that Star Trek, when it is intellectual, is not always subtle. And I like that. I'm a guy who likes when you have a conversation about the problem and not just, there's this sort of the Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan sort of like, things are happening around you, but you don't necessarily stop and talk about it. You see it, it's the actions speak louder than words thing, or like show don't tell. I love a good tell. I love when people tell on screen. I love when they have a conversation and actually discuss the themes of the show. I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my stupidity, but I do love that.
I'm just saying, it feels like Star Trek fans overall get really up their own ass about how they think everything has to be very serious or it's not real Star Trek.
Yeah.
And I just don't. think that Star Trek, historically, when you really look at it, I don't think that meets out. Like, that doesn't make sense for the universe. Like, Star Trek is goofy and funny, and, you know, like, the original series often, the end of the episode was just, like, Kirk and Spock and McCoy, like, saying some fucking one-liners to each other and, you know, laughing or getting annoyed with each other, whatever.
Yeah. No,
like,
I'm with you there. Like, it doesn't have to be serious. Definitely every episode doesn't have to be serious. I just think there's a line of seriousness where once you cross it, the show becomes a parody of itself, you know?
Yeah. But, you know, I will say, like, you know, in the same way that, like, when I saw, it wasn't until like you mentioned earlier, it wasn't until I saw that puppet episode of Angel that I realized what Buffy and Angel was.
Same.
Because I saw that puppet episode, I was like, oh, this is delightful.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I think Lower Decks might be the puppet episode for Star Trek, where you just go like, if you watch it and go back to old Star Trek, you will see Lower Decks.
Yeah.
And you will be shocked.
We have gone much longer than I expected to go on this episode.
Absolutely.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope.
Let's get out of here. Check us out at our other podcasts. DC On Screen for Dave. I got the old Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast and Multiverse News going on. And we're covering Fallout on Always Watching. So lots of things happening. And we'll be back very soon. Peace on true.
Live long and prosper.
Thank you for listening to the Star Trek Universe Podcast, a Stranded Panda production. If you'd like to hear more from David C. Robertson, check out the DC On Screen podcast or maladjusted.tv for his web videos. If you'd like to hear more from Matthew Carroll, check out the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast or listen to his music. Just search for Matthew Carroll anywhere you get music.